This could be the most important car release of the last few years. The Tesla Model 3 is the world's best-selling electric car. It looks great, it drives brilliantly, and most importantly, it's affordable. It's bringing electric cars to the masses. The Model 3 is not the cheapest EV on the road. You can pick up a Hyundai Kona or a Nissan Leaf for about 50 or 60 grand, but those are not terribly impressive cars. They have sort of conventional tech and they just don't look that good, where this looks brilliant. Tesla are pretty much reinventing the whole idea of what a car is. The whole process of buying and servicing one of these has more in common with buying an Apple MacBook Pro than it does a car. And that's because Tesla are not a car company. They're a tech company that happen to make cars. And they're getting pretty damn good at it. The design of this car is one of its most striking features. It's a beautiful coupe with long swooping lines and big black wheels with big red Brembo brakes and these beautiful door handles that sit flush with the metal. It comes down really low here at the front with these great swooping lights that look sort of vaguely reminiscent of an Aston Martin or a Jaguar. It doesn't look like an electric car. It looks awesome. On the rear lid here, we've got a carbon fiber lip that Tesla says improves high-speed stability. And I use the app to open the trunk, which has a pretty good boot inside it. Got all my camera gear in there at the moment. And this, along with the frunk, which is what Tesla calls the front trunk, you get a total of 542 litres of cargo space. Sounds a bit like a disease, doesn't it? I've got a nasty case of frunk. To get into the Tesla Model 3, you need one of these, a card, which you just hold against here on the B-pillar, and that unlocks the door. Or, of course, you can use the app. The interior of this car looks like one of those concept cars that they have at the motor show where you think to yourself, they're never going to build that. But they did, and it's beautiful, although it does take a little bit of getting used to. Everything, and I mean pretty much everything in this car, is controlled by the big 15-inch screen here in the middle of the dash. It looks like a massive iPad, and that's because it more or less is. Tesla hired a bunch of ex-Apple engineers to help them build it, and they did such a good job. It is the best infotainment system in any car anywhere, bar none. The graphics are razor sharp, it's super fast, and it just works brilliantly. Using it is a bit of a steep learning curve, especially if you're not comfortable with using tablets. The system also has a whole bunch of games and even video apps to keep you and the family amused while you're waiting for your car to charge. Oh my God, you can actually use your steering wheel to control this game. I'm racing a Tesla on the screen. Oh, this is cool. Good channel. The steering wheel is nice and small, has a leather wrap around it, feels great, it's easy to throw around in the corners. There are a couple of dials on here that are actually multi-use, and depending on what you're doing on the main screen, that dictates what these do. So in some instances you might be using them to control the volume of the music, the temperature of the aircon, the speed of the cruise control, or even the positioning of the mirrors and the steering wheel. Behind the steering wheel are a couple of stalks. The left-hand one is your indicator and your window washing, and the right one is actually your gear shifter. You push the button in to put it into park, up for reverse, there's neutral, and down to drive. You engage the autopilot by just clicking down on it twice. Another thing that sets this car apart from other EVs is the level of comfort. These seats are amazing. Now, in this color, I'm sure they're a nightmare to keep clean, and I'm glad I don't need to do it, and they do reflect an awful lot of light from the all-glass roof, but they are so comfortable. They are seriously about the softest leather seats I have been in any car. There's 12 ways of electric adjustment, and you could quite comfortably do a long road trip in this car and feel fine coming out the other end. Cleaning the fingerprints off this beautiful screen is a bit of a workout in itself, but Tesla have provided their own branded microfiber cloth to clean it. Music and podcasts are, of course, a very important part of the driving experience, and to help with that, the system has a full version of Spotify. You can log in and play your own playlists, which is a bit of an issue for me because I've got all of my music on Apple Music and podcasts, and unfortunately there's no way to directly control them through the system, although they do stream beautifully through Bluetooth. So that means parking, selecting what I'm going to play, and then keeping on going. It's a little bit annoying. This car certainly gets a lot of attention wherever it goes. See you later. It gets a lot of attention. It's not me, it's the car. Now you'll have to forgive me that I'm wearing sunglasses for this review. The reason is that with this white interior and it being such a sunny day, it is blindingly glary in here. I really can't see a thing without them on. So I think this car should actually come with sunglasses. You've probably heard this already, but it is brilliant to drive. It is really good. It's a very quiet cabin. There's almost no noise from its two electric motors. There is a bit of road noise and a bit of wind noise, but it's not so bad as to be off-putting. But I've been in V8s that have quieter cabins than this, in all honesty, but having said that, it's still not too bad. There are two drive modes available, Sport and Chill. They pretty much do what they say on the label, with Chill being fine around town, not too much power, not too much accidentally lurching forward, and Sport probably best for the open road. There are three steering modes available, Comfort, Standard and Sport, with Comfort just being a little too lifeless. It kind of feels like a big 70s yank tank. It's a bit understeery and a little bit vague and all over the place. Personally, I prefer it in Sport, which has a bit more weight and a bit more of a direct sort of feel to it. Standard sits somewhere in between the two. With the all-glass roof and a very warm day, it's 39 degrees outside right now, it can warm up in here really, really quickly. Fortunately, the air conditioning is brilliant though, and it would have to be, otherwise it would become unbearable in a very short period of time. Now this car at 1.8 tonnes is no lightweight, but it has a very low centre of gravity thanks to all those batteries underneath the floors. So with its wide stance and all of that power, that means it can actually corner really, really well. And you can have a lot of fun on twisty roads with this car. This is what Teslas are best known for, shooting from 0 to 100 in a very short space of time. So we're in Sport mode, and here we go. Whoa! Oh my God. Wow. Okay, that's insane. If you've ever been to Movie World and you've been on the Superman ride where it shoots you out of the station, and I think it goes 0 to 100 in 2 seconds, it feels like that. There is not any car around, I think, that would feel anything like that. The power, it just comes on straight away. That was so good. The autopilot system that I've got engaged at the moment, I'd have to say, is pretty much the best I've seen in any car, and it is so easy to use. In a lot of cars, you've got to, do a lot of complicated button pushing to get it engaged. Here, you just flick down the gear shifter twice and it's on. It knows that the local speed limit here is 80 kilometers per hour, so it's set that as its maximum. It's using the current speed of the car in front of me to judge how fast we should be going at 77 kilometers per hour at the moment. That's pretty good, and it's gently accelerating and decelerating as it needs to. And the steering wheel is making very positive turns to the left and right. I can feel that it's actually really engaged. I do have to keep my hands just gently on the wheel so that the car knows I'm still awake, but it is doing all the hard work itself. So this car has two electric motors powering all four wheels with 335 kilowatts of power and 640 newton meters of torque. And the range is officially 595 kilometers, but with a bit of enthusiastic driving like I've been doing over the last few days, I think 300 is probably a bit more accurate. But when you are running low on charge, both the center console screen and the iPhone app can tell you where the nearest supercharging station is and how long it will take you to get there, how many spaces are available, what amenities are nearby. And it takes around about 45 minutes to charge the battery up to 80%, which is actually pretty good. Visibility out of this car is really good out the front because the front end is so low, it just kind of falls away in front of me, but that is pretty much the end of the car, so it's pretty good. The wing mirrors are nice, you can see right to the back. Small rear vision mirror here next to me, not great vision out of the back, especially considering that the entire roof is glass, but there is a camera here which puts up a huge picture on the screen showing what's behind me when I'm backing up. Blind spot visibility, turning my head is actually pretty good too. There are sensors all around the car showing me how close I am to various objects, and that's constantly on the screen in front of me, so I can always see what's nearby. Really clever system here, you can actually tell the difference between the different types of cars on the road, so whether they be a car, an SUV, a truck, a bus, they all look different on the screen here. Even pedestrians are shown as avatars on the screen here, and you can see them walking across the road in front of you at crossings. It's really cool. The Tesla Model 3 starts at $60,900, and as seen here, the dual motor performance version goes for $90,900. Now that includes a 4-year, 80,000 kilometre warranty on the car bits and an 8-year, 192,000 kilometre warranty on the drivetrain and battery. Tesla continue to make bold moves with their cars, and it could have all gone wrong. The Tesla Model 3 could have been consigned to history as one of those quirky little cars from the second decade of the 21st century that everyone loved and has long been forgotten. But it's not going to be that at all. It's going to continue to lead the charge, forgive the pun, into our electric future.